Alright, what's going on YouTube? Today we're gonna react to the deserved downfall of the Phoenix Suns. Let's get into them.
Try to keep him in the middle of the floor. Pippen got the shot. Here's Paxson for three. Yes, the Bulls take a 1-point lead, and Phoenix calls for time.
Real disappointment. It's crazy. Real disappointment.
Despite having the league MVP Charles Barkley and one of the strongest teams in basketball, it was not enough to stop the Chicago Bulls from three-peating. While some people thought this was the start of the Phoenix Suns being a good basketball team, it wasn't. The following season, they lost to the eventual champion, the Houston Rockets. Phoenix, for about 10 years, just became a consistent playoff team who usually had a good regular season record. However, they could never make it back to the NBA Finals. However, there was one team that did show potential, the 2004 Run and Gun Suns. Led by Steve Nash, Amar'e Stoudemire, and Shawn Marion, they had a pretty good roster. They also had a great head coach to the forefront, Mike D'Antoni. And in 2004, we really saw the effect of this team.
It's crazy how they couldn't win together, man. That's a fire duo. Flashy Steve Nash, and then you got athletic Stoudemire, bro. That's diff. That boy Steve Nash was really him, bro. Insane passes and stuff. Real crafty with the ball.
Miami's culture is super vibrant.
Yo,
They're coming here because it's in Miami. These fans want to experience that.
It was electric, it was fast, and it was also efficient. It also won games. The 7 seconds or less offense was created by Mike D'Antoni to help Steve Nash run the offense a lot more efficiently. In fact, this offense did so good, it led this team to win the 1 seed. They swept the Grizzlies in the first round to no one's surprise, and they even proceeded to beat the Mavericks in the second round, making it to the Western Conference Finals. In a matchup versus the Spurs, it seemed like maybe, just maybe they could compete. San Antonio was just straight up the better team. Even though Phoenix had a great offense, their defense was subpar. As the saying goes, defense wins championships, and if anything was a testament to the saying, I think it was this series right here. The following season, the exact same thing happened. They beat the Lakers in the first round, the Clippers in the second, making it to the Western Conference Finals. Once again, when they got to the Western Conference Finals, they couldn't get the job.
That's how you know, bro. The freaking West is hard as hell. Like, the West is always stacked, even from back then.
Done losing to the Mavericks in 6. After losing in 2007 to the Spurs in the first round, that basically killed the Run and Gun Suns. In 2007, they acquired Shaquille O'Neal during the season from Miami, which wasn't necessarily a terrible pickup considering an aging Shaq could average about 13 and 10. However, the downside of adding Shaq to this team basically ruined the pacing, hence killing the 7 seconds or less offense. Season after season of mediocrity, that's all you could say about Phoenix. But after the departure of Steve Nash in 2012, everything would change, and not for the better.
Few fans. Hopefully it's okay over there.
I want to see that young guy.
Phoenix Suns started to become a mockery, huh?
Especially celebrating. What minute is this? Come on,
To everyone, this team was a joke, and I mean, how could you blame them? They not only had a terrible record, but they could not draft right. Alex Len in 2013, TJ Warren in 2014, but at least in 2015, they did something right.
Phoenix Suns select Devin Booker,
man.
University of Kentucky.
Even though Devin Booker was a good draft pick, it didn't change how bad this team was. Again, they could not draft right, taking Dragon Bender in 2016 and Josh Jackson in 2017. Coaching change after coaching change could not save this team, but I actually think one of those coaching changes that they made wasn't justified. From 2015 through 2017, Earl Watson was the head coach of the Phoenix Suns that actually showed some potential. Despite the team being bad, ownership did like the energy that he brought to Phoenix. Now, something that you guys forget about Earl Watson is even though we got a lot of shit for this team being bad, we forgot the fact that he's the reason Devin Booker was in the starting lineup.
They had just paid Eric Bledsoe and Brandon Knight.
Oh yeah,
$140 million.
I forgot they had Brandon Knight and Eric Bledsoe, that backcourt duo
Combined to start in the backcourt. So by me starting Devin Booker was like, whoa, what are you doing? But I just saw in the backcourt when you have Brandon Knight and Eric Bledsoe, you had 2 pattern players. And people thought I was crazy. Because at Kentucky, he played as a pattern player, catch and shoot. He wasn't isolated. He came off the bench.
Now, if Earl Watson didn't start Devin Booker, God knows if he'd be the player he's become. Now, despite this team being terrible, they never got a #1 pick. But in 2018, they landed the #1 pick, and there was someone that everyone had their eyes on. DeAndre Ayton, a center from the University of Arizona, showed high potential as a traditional center, even though there was some kid from Slovenia who did look pretty great. And also, their brand new head coach had ties to this player as he was the national coach for Slovenia. Regardless, Phoenix would end up taking Ayton and even traded for Mikal Bridges later on in the draft. 2 pretty solid picks in one draft. That's not too bad. And in 2019, they even started to show more promise getting Cameron Johnson from UNC after trading down from #6. Hell, they even got Dario Saric and Ricky Rubio. Slowly but surely, they were building a culture. It seemed like a team that could be fun to watch, but not a team that could necessarily win. Now, 2019 was a very eventful year, starting with DeAndre Ayton being suspended for 25 games. Also, Igor was fired to no one's surprise, and they replaced him with Monty Williams. But there were some positives, as Devin Booker would be an all-star reserve after Damian Lillard couldn't play due to injury. But also, Phoenix's team was playing better and winning some games. They had a 32-39 record at one point when all of a sudden
2020, man. 2020 happened. Rest in peace, Kobe, man.
The NBA has decided to suspend game play.
And that 2020 year was crazy.
22 teams got invited to the bubble, and Phoenix just happened to be one of them. You only got invited if you mathematically had a chance to make the playoffs, and with the introduction of the play-in tournament, Phoenix would have a mathematical chance. But come on now, let's be serious. Phoenix would have to go undefeated just for a chance to make it to the play-in, which doesn't even guarantee them a playoff spot. But all they needed was a chance.
And they did just that, but I think they lost 1 game. Right? I don't even remember how that crap went.
They are learning a lot in a short while here.
The book. Now, that was a clutch ass shot, though. I can't lie. I'm telling you, that boy D-Book is a mini assassin too, bro.
It has been cool for me to be with y'all and watch you guys work and battle and gain the respect of your peers where you have on this trip.
Everyone had their eyes on Phoenix because of this run, but during the offseason, those eyes would only get bigger.
Center, breaking news from the NBA. Adrian Wojnarowski, our senior NBA insider with us. Woj, what do you have?
The big one, Chris Paul is headed to the Phoenix Suns. And now the Suns and Robert Sarver in the Western Conference, they become a real factor in this Western Conference race.
Because of this trade, it was almost certain the Suns would at least make the playoffs. There was an effect that Chris Paul had where he could change young rebuilding teams and give them chances to succeed. Now, them just making the playoffs was an understatement. The Suns would finish the regular season with a 51-21 record and held the 2 seed. Phoenix entering the playoffs had to play the defending champion Los Angeles Lakers. This team was hungry and they were ready, but bad things would already happen in game 1.
Who's now got 10 points.
And Chris Paul is down in pain.
Oh boy, holding his right shoulder up by his neck.
This would cause LA to go up 2-1 in the series, and it got to the point where Bron was just toying with this team. But then in game 4, another injury would happen.
And he grabbed that left leg. Again, it was the left knee that he sprained. And
auto insurance all seems the same until it's time to use it. With USAA,
that man is always injury prone.
Game 3.
Anthony Davis went down messing up his groin, and Phoenix would be able to tie the series at 2-2. Then in game 5, they would take that game, and now they were 1 game away from winning the entire series. Anthony Davis would return to this game, but he was just not the same, and honestly, did it matter?
Just for the Phoenix Suns, Crowder free to find.
Downtown there in the second half, and it's carried over here early.
The gifted Booker. Backpedaling 3.
The Suns in the game 5 got into the paint. Now they're knocking down their shots with confidence.
Here we go with Booker. Another three. Paul. Here comes Booker. Had 33
I remember
at
watching
halftime.
this game that
Got
year
the screen,
too.
long three. And here comes Chris Paul.
Know that
And the Phoenix Suns will give it to Booker with a drive and a season high of 47.
Franchise the Lakers in a game 6. Getting back in the postseason, beating the defending champions.
The Suns had done it, but that was just the beginning.
They were doing so good.
The Suns, almost after 20 years, had made it back to the NBA Finals. Everything was lining up for this team to win their first NBA championship. The Suns would go up 2-0 in the series, and they looked unstoppable. But then Giannis happened.
Giannis happened. That boy Giannis, bro. That man just completely destroyed them. Like, look at this. Definitely deserved it, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. I wanted Chris Paul to win. At least win his first string, and that's it, you feel me? Because that's one of my favorite point guards, too. It looks crazy, man. That boy Giannis definitely did his thing, man. Well deserved, for real.
It was sad that Phoenix couldn't get it done, especially with them right there. But on the bright side, it seemed like there was momentum here. Coming into the 2022 season, Phoenix wanted to show the year before wasn't a fluke. The entire core would return, and Phoenix was on a mission. Phoenix dominated as the season went on and ended the season with a 64-18 record, good enough for the first seed. Everyone thought it was the Suns' year. Everyone was locked in, the team was on fire, and it looked like nothing was going to get in the way. In round 1, they had a matchup versus the 8-seeded Pelicans, and it was surprising how close the series was. New Orleans actually tied the series at 2 at one point, and it looked like Phoenix could get upset in the first round. However, after some Chris Paul heroics in Game 6, they officially move on to play the Mavericks. Now, the Mavericks was supposed to be an easy team to beat to make it back to the Western Conference Finals. They actually would start the series up 2-0 and were firing on all cylinders. Nothing was going to get in the way of them making it back to the Western Conference Finals, but that's until he happened.
Oh, man. That boy Luka, man. Luka Magic.
The narrative all of a sudden was changing. They went from a team to root for that everyone loved and wanted to succeed. But then because of the Maverick series, they got the narrative of being a team full of frontrunners. It's why them losing seems so damn satisfying to a lot of people. Now, 2023 had a very weird start for Phoenix. Robert Sarver, the longtime owner of the Suns, was going through controversy. After it was found out that he had said the N-word multiple times, it was creating a toxic work environment, his time with the team was running low. Finally, in the middle of the season, on December 20th, the Suns had a brand new owner. Mind you, this move wasn't made official until February 7th. And yes, that is going to be a very important date in this timeline. But regardless, Matt Ishbia had bought the team for about $4 billion, and there was a brand new era in Phoenix. Now, this is a very important date for Suns fans, and you'll see how later this might have been the beginning of the end. Now, new owners love to come in on the scene, try to make a big splash. I mean, Ishbia carried himself a little bit different compared to the other owners. For one, he was on the younger side at the age of 43 years old, but he also had a laid-back type of tone. Now, it didn't take long for Ishbia to do something remarkable. Now, back during the offseason, offseason, there were some rumors that Kevin Durant wanted to go to Phoenix. The only reason this trade never happened is because the team didn't want to give up Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. Now, flash forward to February 9th, now things are a little bit different. With an aggressive mindset, Matt Ishbia made.
My name is Darren Tommaso. I'm a Nike NYC trainer, and I'm wearing the Nike Zoom TR1.
They role players that's
versatile enough to wear.
The trade that Robert Sarver couldn't.
Kevin, after the Kyrie Irving trade last week, conversations between Kevin Durant, Joe Tsai, the owner in Brooklyn, Sean Marks, their GM,
eventually did.
They started to move toward the idea that if there was a deal that could be done in Phoenix, that Kevin Durant would certainly be open to it. The new owner in Phoenix, who just was approved last week, he wanted to get Kevin Durant.
Phoenix have now put themselves in a win-now situation because of this trade. Despite Durant taking a while to make his debut for Phoenix because of a small injury he had during warm-ups, when the team played together, they did look good. Coming into the playoffs as a 4th seed, it seemed like Phoenix was a dark horse contender. In round 1, they beat the Clippers in 5 games, and they moved on to play the Denver Nuggets, who were the team to beat that year. After going down 2-0 in the series, it seemed like Phoenix was just gonna lose. But we've seen this play out before. Phoenix actually won 2 games and tied the series. Denver would win game 5, but now Phoenix had a chance to tie the series.
Obliterated. If that's the word.
Was there any hope for this team
killed
at this rate? No.
Again,
during the offseason, we saw Matt Ishbia even being more aggressive, trading Chris Paul for Bradley Beal. Also getting Frank Vogel right after firing Monty Williams. Chris Paul and Monty Williams were the reason this team did so well. They changed the culture in Phoenix. They went from a rebuilding team to a team that could contend. But did that matter to this brand new owner? Nah. Instead, he turned his back on the culture and made questionable trades. After Phoenix got swept in the first round by Minnesota, once again being embarrassed in front of everyone, they showed nothing is going to change. Because of one man, this team is in NBA hell. No draft picks, no cap space, and a core of players that may never win an NBA title. It's sad to see this team that had so much potential go out as sad as they have. It's the Suns. What else should we expect? 56 years of disappointment and coming up short. Some downfalls are sad to see.
They remind me of the Clippers, bro.
And I think if you ask most people, they say this is great to see. Now, with Phoenix coming back with the same core, maybe this will be the year.
It's ridiculous, bro. They really just up and down. Like, they win and then they lose. Like, man, it's crazy, man. But if y'all like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Turn on that post notification bell too, man. Trying to get more subs, you know. But I'm really trying to do this for y'all. But just subscribe, you hear me? We out.